Hi, everybody. Welcome to our webinar, Keto Diet, More Than Just a Weight Loss Tool. This is Kimberly Ward with Fuel. Really excited to have all of you with me tonight. Thanks for joining us. I'm really excited to be talking about ketosis because I do believe that ketosis is truly a viable tool for losing weight and for getting to a higher level of health if you do it right. So tonight I'm going to talk to you about ketosis, define it and explain it. I'm going to review the proven health benefits of ketosis, talk to you about who or who shouldn't go into a state of ketosis, tell you how to safely get into ketosis and maintain that state of ketosis, and share some details about the Fuel Keto group program. I'm really excited about our upcoming group program. It's going to start in January. So if you're interested in trying a ketogenic diet, stay tuned to the very end, and I'm going to talk to you about our Fuel Keto group. I do have to start with a medical disclaimer. The information in this presentation is not intended to replace a one-on-one relationship with a qualified healthcare professional, but rather it's intended as a sharing of knowledge and information based on my research, the research of Fuel, and the experts that have contributed. So we encourage you to make your own healthcare decisions based on your own research and always in partnership with a qualified healthcare professional. So let's get into this. What exactly is ketosis? Well, ketosis is a natural metabolic state or natural metabolic process, and it happens when the body doesn't have enough sugar or glucose to use for energy, so it must burn fat instead. And over time, this lack of glucose results in a buildup of acids called ketones within the body, and ketones can be really good for the body. So a little bit more detail is that with high glucose from the standard American diet or high amounts of dietary carbohydrates and protein, the body produces insulin. And insulin is a fat storage hormone. It's an inflammatory hormone, but it's necessary to help the body to utilize this glucose for energy. And the purpose of being in ketosis is to lower glucose and therefore lowers insulin. So then what happens is the body starts to break down fatty acids for fuel, either from our diet or from stored fatty acids in the body. And then the body mobilizes these fats and brings them to the liver, which is where they're converted into ketones or ketone bodies. And these ketones are water soluble, so they're able to easily get inside the cells for energy. Ketones produce 10 times more cellular energy than glucose, and they produce less oxidative stress. So there's a huge amount of benefit from having a high level of ketones in the body. But how do you get into a state of ketosis and get the body to produce these ketones? Well, fasting is a really simple way to do that, because if you're not ingesting high amounts of carbohydrates and protein, then the body doesn't have to secrete insulin, and you end up needing to go to your fat stores to produce ketones for fuel. Another way to do this is nutritional ketosis, so eating in a specific way that induces a state of ketosis. And there's also extreme exercise, because if you are exercising extremely heavily, then you're burning the amounts of carbohydrates and protein that you're taking in pretty quickly. So these are three ways that you can reach a state of ketosis, and the topic tonight for us is going to be the diet or nutritional ketosis. When you stay in a state of ketosis long enough, you switch from being a sugar-burning machine into a fat-burning machine. And what that means, besides the obvious weight loss, what that means is that there are incredible benefits of ketosis. And I'm going to start with the brain health benefits. Actually, back in the 1920s, they started using a nutritional ketosis diet to treat kids with epileptic seizures, and very successfully, and even so successfully that it's still used today for epilepsy. We've also found that the ketosis and keto diet really helps to decrease the severe symptoms within Alzheimer's and dementia patients. It helps to improve symptoms in Parkinson's patients. It's really helpful for those with a TBI, which is a traumatic brain injury. And again, the dementia symptoms are decreased with this type of diet. I have to say personally, one thing I've noticed when being in ketosis, that it has improved my mental clarity and focus immensely, and my energy levels skyrocket. Cardiovascularly, we see a decrease in triglycerides and decrease in bad cholesterol, but increase in good cholesterol, and it does help to regulate blood pressure. There's powerful anti-inflammation properties, so you'll see help with arthritis, chronic pain, helps with autoimmune disorders. Anything that's a chronic disease is going to have chronic inflammation. So this is going to benefit all chronic disease by decreasing inflammation. And things like skin issues, which typically are immune-related and inflammation-related, things like acne, eczema, and psoriasis are greatly decreased with a ketogenic diet. There's also gut health benefits. So we see a decrease in acid reflux, decrease in gas and bloating. Interestingly enough, it really helps to support gallbladder function, and it can be really helpful if you don't have a gallbladder. And it improves the microbiome as well. So it makes it a much better environment for all the good bugs in our microbiome. Cancer benefits are amazing. And actually, this is how I got really interested in the benefits of ketosis, is when I started reading the science behind ketosis used for cancer. Because the thing is that cancer cells live on sugar, and they can't use ketones for fuel very efficiently. So if you have cancer, you can greatly benefit from a ketogenic diet, because if you're not eating the sugar, which feeds the cancer, and you're eating a keto diet for ketones for your source of fuel, the cancer cells starve and die, but you have ketones as a source of fuel. So for cancer treatment and cancer prevention, I really believe greatly in the benefits of ketosis. And then, of course, there's the diabetes and insulin resistance. When it comes to blood sugar and specifically insulin resistance, which is when you have a sensitivity to insulin, insulin isn't as effective in your body. I think ketosis is one of the best ways to manage this, because the nature of ketosis is to lower blood sugar, so it can help manage type 1 diabetes. It can help reverse insulin resistance in type 2 diabetes, and all the things associated with diabetes like PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and infertility in women, and things like glaucoma and cataracts, diabetic retinopathy, and things like metabolic syndrome can all be reduced greatly when you're in a state of ketosis. But many of us are most interested in its benefit for obesity and weight loss. It's incredibly efficient for weight loss because it helps you burn fat, but it helps to spare muscle. So it helps to boost your metabolism, so much so that we see pretty rapid weight loss without the hunger and cravings that come along with just simply lowering calories. So I personally have had great success with decreasing inflammation in my body. The mental clarity and focus and increased energy benefits alone are enough for me to do a ketogenic diet, but the weight loss results are pretty fantastic also. Let's talk about who should not be on a ketogenic diet. Basically, ketogenic diets that are full of high quality foods are really safe for most people. The situations where you need extra support is if you're on medications like insulin for diabetes or for high blood pressure, you can still do it, but you need somebody to help walk you through it and manage it. If you're underweight, you shouldn't do it. If you're pregnant or nursing, you shouldn't be in ketosis. And if you have severe adrenal fatigue, then you need to take it very slowly and ease your way into a state of ketosis. So those are the situations where I'd be very cautious. But again, if you're eating very high quality foods, then this natural state of ketosis used purposefully through a ketogenic diet can be very safe and effective. So nutritional ketosis is induced by eating a high fat, low carb, and moderate to low protein diet. Now, this is key because a lot of people think that it's high fat, low carb, but also high protein. And we can't reach a state of ketosis if we have too much protein. Really, the secret to ketosis is in the ratio. Keto diets are about ratios of macronutrients. So when we're talking about the keto ratio, we mean the ratio of fat versus carbs plus protein. And eating in this pattern forces the body to change from a sugar burning machine to a fat burning machine. So the example that I like to use is a 2-to-1 ratio, because for most of us that works really well for weight loss. So what that means is that for every 100 grams of fat, you'd have 50 grams of carbs plus protein combined. A 1-to-1 ratio, 1 part fat to 1 part protein plus carbs combined, works for most of us to maintain a healthy weight and keep inflammation at bay. But I have found that a 2-to-1 ratio is necessary for most of us to lose weight. And I have worked with some people that need to go to a 3-to-1 ratio for efficient weight loss. But I have found, like I said, most of us, a 2-to-1 ratio works really, really well for effective weight loss. Now, a 4-to-1 ratio is going to be used for more severe disease processes like cancer and epilepsy. So I want you to understand that the ratio is different than the percent of calories that we eat. So for instance, if you're going to have a 2-to-1 ratio of grams, then we're going to look at about an 82% amount of your diet is fat, and 18% of the calories comes from the protein plus the net carbs combined. So what are you going to eat on ketosis to get to this ratio? Well, many people think of ketosis as like the Atkins type of diet, and Atkins can put you in ketosis, but it's often very, very high in animal protein. And what keto actually is very high in really healthy, clean foods. Some animal protein is allowed for sure, but you can do this as a vegetarian. But keto, to be healthy, needs to be high in quality foods, really clean foods. We're going to avoid processed and packaged foods, eat lots of produce and good fats, and starch and fruit can be eaten, but they have to be limited to make sure you get in the correct ratio. Of course, you're going to pick foods that work for you. So if you have an allergy or a sensitivity to certain foods, you're going to avoid those. So you pick the foods that are the highest quality, most nutrient-dense foods possible, cleanest foods possible, and eat in that right ratio. It isn't all bacon and butter. Vegetarians, as I said earlier, can actually go into a state of ketosis. If you are going to eat animal product, though, please choose hormone-free meat and dairy. And I do like to give a caution on dairy because dairy products contain not only milk sugar or lactose, which can slow down ketosis, but also the milk protein can stimulate insulin secretion a little bit more than other types of protein, which can then slow down weight loss and inhibit your ability to reach or stay in ketosis. So really it's all an experiment because everybody is so different. It can be very helpful to work with someone to work through the kinks, to figure out what is your sweet spot for your ratio, what foods work best for you to get you into ketosis and to keep you into ketosis. And so I do recommend, if you're interested in looking into our group program, so we can help you through this process. So some of you have probably heard of the keto flu. So I like to tell people what they can expect if they do go into ketosis. And the keto flu is actually a group of symptoms that you may or may not have. Not everyone gets this, but about 4 or 5 days into ketosis, you might feel some flu-like symptoms, achy all over, headache, nausea, just overall feeling icky. Again, not everyone has this, but some people do. And truly the big culprit behind this is electrolyte depletion. So it's really important on a ketogenic diet that you get enough electrolytes like sodium and potassium and magnesium. So electrolyte depletion symptoms can be uncomfortable, can have muscle cramps, can have headaches, really low energy, feeling really, really weak. Can be pretty uncomfortable. So got to make sure you're getting those electrolytes in. Constipation is another common side effect. Magnesium is a good way to treat both some of the electrolyte depletion symptoms and constipation. So some of the fuel products that I recommend during a keto program will help deal with these symptoms. But the good news is when you do reach a state of ketosis, you have tons of energy, a whole lot of brain power, and awesome weight loss results. Another question I get is how long to stay in a state of ketosis. And the truth is that I really recommend that you pulse in and out of ketosis, which we do that by changing the ratio occasionally. We don't go crazy on carbs, but 1 or 2 days a week, you can move down to like a 1-to-1 ratio and have a little bit higher level of carbs and a higher level of protein, because this pulsing in and out has been found to be really effective, not only for the health benefits, but mentally and emotionally having higher carbs and protein now and then really help. But once you achieve your health and weight loss goals, then we transition into a lower ratio as a maintenance program and maybe still go into a state of ketosis, but less often because now you've reached your health goals. So pulsing in and out is a really good way to have easier, faster results. And then you need to know when you finally get into ketosis. Are you in ketosis and can you stay there? And we do that by testing either with a urine test, a blood test, or a breath test. I believe that if you're new to ketosis, the most efficient and cost-effective way to test is urine ketone strips. They're very inexpensive, and basically you just pee on these sticks or you dip them in urine, and the color of the strip will change in proportion to your levels of ketones in your urine. So you can see if you're not in ketosis at all, or if you're in trace levels, small ketosis, moderate, or large amounts mean you're pretty deep into ketosis. And this over time isn't as effective because your body adapts to the ketones and you might not see it in your urine after a while. But if you're pretty new to ketosis, this is the easiest, cheapest way to test. Blood ketone meters are a little more expensive, and they're great. They're very effective. And clinically, this is the gold standard to use the blood ketone meters. And it's very similar to a blood glucose meter, where you prick your finger and you put a little little drop of blood on the stick at the end of the machine, and it tells you what your blood ketone levels are. This is great if you plan on being in ketosis a longer period of time and you're really curious about your ketone levels, or if you're using it for therapeutic reasons for cancer. I would definitely invest in a blood ketone meter. But if you're new to ketosis and it's more for weight loss, then I think the urine sticks are just fine. The breath ketone meters are pretty new to market. You blow into this little meter and it tells you what your levels of ketones are. And I think I'll invest in this in the next few months or years as the technology gets better and the price goes down. I think this is going to be a great tool. But for now, I think that urine strips work best if you're new to ketosis, but if you're serious and going to do it a long period of time, ultimately you probably want to invest in a blood ketone meter. Oh, wow. Let's sum it up now. You get amazing health benefits when ketosis is done correctly. There's a lot of science out there now, and over the next few weeks and months, Fuel and I will be blogging more on ketosis and giving you more science behind ketosis. But to sum it up, really, you get amazing benefits if you do it correctly. Nutritional ketosis happens when you get the right macronutrient ratio for your body. So quality food matters. You can't eat junk food and boost your health. So we've got to eat quality food and eat it in the right ratio so that you can get into ketosis. And once you're in a state of ketosis, we're actually going to pulse in and out of ketosis to get the best results until you hit your goal weight or you hit your health goals. And then we're going to move down into maintenance. You're going to need to experiment with foods, experiment with ratios and with meal timing, and to test your ketones to see what works best for you. And it's often really helpful to have some support so that you can better navigate this process, which is why we have created the Keto Group Program. With the Fuel Keto Group Program, we're going to run these groups every 3 months. So January through March, we're going to offer a program. It's a group program, meaning you're going to have a lot of group support. During this program, you're going to learn a lot more science. So what is a keto diet, the science behind it, the benefits of being in this ketosis state, how to do it correctly, what to expect and how to overcome the challenges. You're going to get a full fuel-friendly keto plan with recipes and menu ideas. You're going to get the Fuel app, which helps you track your progress. You'll get a kickoff call at the end of December, so you're going to have plenty of time to have all the information you need to plan, to actually start the food plan in January. And then January through March, once we get started on the plan in January, we're going to have an hour-long call every week. So it's a group call where you'll get on and you'll get to know each other. We'll interact with each other. And then we'll also have a private face group where you can get continued support from us with Fuel as well as the other group members. And that's just a place where we can celebrate our success, ask questions, and just connect. During the weekly calls, that's where I'm going to share all this education with you. But we're also going to share our favorite recipes, meal plans, and other keto resources. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of really good resources out there about the ketogenic diet and lifestyle. So I'd love us to all share our favorite resources with each other. We're going to set clear goals and intentions and keep each other accountable. We're going to have discussions on our challenges. We might need to be discussing our relationship with food because we might really have struggles sticking to the plan. And if we do, we're going to help each other get clear on our blocks or the resistance that we might have to starting or sticking to the program. We're going to implement strategies to break through that resistance, and we're going to support each other in the process. And don't worry, because I'm going to record all of the calls so that you can listen anytime if you miss one of the groups. So when's it going to start? Well, the kickoff call is scheduled for Thursday, December 21st at 6:30 Mountain Standard Time. So this is going to give you plenty of time to prepare so that you can start the food plan in January. But again, the food plan actually starts the first week of January when we start our group calls. And you get to choose what group is best for you. I'm going to offer a morning group and an evening group. The evening group will be Tuesdays at 6:30 Mountain Standard Time, and the morning group will be on Fridays at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, so you can choose which is best for you. How much does it cost? Well, when you pay in full for this program, it's $497, and we are offering a payment plan of $175 per month for the 3 months. And after the 3 months, you can go into our Radical Freedom subscription program, which is $97 per month. That allows you to continue with the weekly group call, and you get a whole lot of other stuff with that subscription. You can see that on the website. And today we're offering a special. If you enroll before December 15th, you get a free 60-minute health assessment with me. It's $125 value. And this is an hour-long time where we're going to spend some time going over your unique situation. If you have any current lab tests, you can send them to me in advance and I'll look at them and give you, from a functional perspective, what those lab tests are showing us. And I'm going to give you my top 3 recommendations for your health moving forward. So if you enroll before December 15th, you get the full Fuel 3-month program, plus you're going to get this health assessment for free. So go to this link I have here below, or just go to our website to learn more information about the health assessment. And one more special offer: if you enroll before December 7th, you're going to get an extra 30-minute one-on-one coaching session with Kim in addition to that 60-minute health assessment. So if you're pretty sure this is something you want to do, please go ahead and enroll before the 7th so you get that extra call with me. So if you're really ready and really serious to lose some weight and get the inflammation down and boost your energy and your brain power, then get started with us. We're going to get this done together with the Fuel Keto Group program. You can get all the information at our website, fuel.io. I've put the links here for the 3-month pay in full option, but also the link for the 3 payment plan option here as well. So thank you guys so much for joining the website tonight. It looks like there's a few questions I'm going to answer quickly. One is more about, let's see, can you do this program if you're a vegan? Yes, so I did mention you can do this program if you're vegetarian. You can also do this program if you're a complete vegan, meaning no animal products at all. There's some more science and some studies that are being conducted currently about vegans being in ketosis, and I can look for those studies for you and share that with you. I don't have that off the top of my head, but yes, the short answer is yes, you can absolutely do this as a vegan. A question here about if you're going to be out of town. Okay, out of town that very first week. I would still, very first week of January, out of town, I would still go ahead and enroll and come to the kickoff call in December, and then just jump into the program as soon as you get back into town. All right, let's see. Gallbladder, I've had my gallbladder removed. Yes, absolutely. I've just actually read some interesting research that showed that people without a gallbladder do pretty well with a keto type diet. And if you have a history of gallstones, that can help to improve gallbladder function. Okay, great question. Allergies and gluten-free. Yes, I think I covered that a little bit. You pick the foods that work best for you. So if you have any kind of allergy or sensitivity, then you're just not going to eat that food. If you happen to be allergic to avocados, for instance, although we do often eat a lot of avocados in a keto diet, you would just have to avoid that food. But I promise there's a lot of food options available. For those of you that are familiar with Fuel and the Fuel food plans, it's really literally our Fuel food plan, just in a different ratio. So those of you that have been with Fuel before and have done our program, then you really have a heads up. It's going to be easy for you. It's just going to be shifting around the ratios of your macronutrients. And that's why I recommend you come to join the program, because I'm going to work with each one of you to make sure that you're getting into the right ratio so you get the results that you need, but also that if symptoms come up, or you're feeling uncomfortable, or you're noticing some discomfort, then you can reach out to us, and I can help you manage the symptoms so that you get through the first part of ketosis, which can be the most challenging, and make sure you can stick with it long enough to get the results. So, all right, I think that sums up all the questions. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us tonight, and we're going to get this replay out to you sooner than later. And please come to our website for more information. You can always find our contact information on the website at fuel.io. Reach out if you have any questions. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great night.